So it's about 11:45 p.m. downtown Toronto. Today is March the 20th, 2022. So let's get started right into the market report, not waste any time here. So as you know from my previous video, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, consistently pretty much every single week, and looking at the market numbers for downtown Toronto and just plotting the graph and looking at how the numbers compare to the weeks before. So if you look at previous weeks numbers, we're at 759 active listings compared to 739 the week before, so we went up by 20 listings, so which isn't much at all. If you look at the graph here, you can see that we are still on an upward trajectory, which is common for this type of year, because as the spring market comes along, you'll see a lot more inventory coming onto the market. And you can see this from the previous graphs before. And then again, last video I talked about the COVID curve, the mountain that happened during COVID and the lockdown. If you look at the number of condo unit sales, we're currently at 475 sales for March. So we ended up with 792 in February. If you saw my previous video, you'll notice that was at 788. In the change, there's 4 more listings that actually sold. So the reason for that is there's delays from the MLS system on the reporting. Sometimes sales get reported later, way later, so then they don't update the system until later, and again, that's why you'll see this number change. And some of the previous numbers change slightly once in a while. But I'm on top of it, so I'm watching it, so I'll be updating it for you. If you compare March to the previous years, again, we saw 1,109 sales in 2021, which is unprecedented. Again, I doubt we'll see a month like this anytime soon. This is an anomaly that I've never seen in my 12 years that I've been here. If you look at the previous March, right during when COVID hit, we had 502 sales, and in 2019 we had 528 sales. So it looks like March will end up higher than 500, so which is still a very good month, relatively speaking, if you compare it to previous March markets. If you look at the average sales price, we are at 853,000. But I don't like to use average sales price to look at prices. Again, you know that my preference is to use the HPI tool. So the home price index tracks a specific type of property over the life of the index, so that kind of eliminates all the outliers. So if you actually looked at and you're interpreting price using this data, the average price data, you'd say that, since February of 2020, we haven't really seen much appreciation at all, because the difference between February and this March is only about $8,000. However, if you actually look at the home price index, you'll see that March of 2020 was 718,000, and right now we're at 820,000. So that's a difference of about 100,000. So if you use average price to kind of determine what's going on with the market, you'll be off by $100,000. So again, this is a reason why I don't like to use average price. Use the home price index, the benchmark pricing, to do your valuations on price. Median price, again, is a little bit better. Again, it is showing you, about a 50,000 difference from prices of February 2020, March 2020, which was the peak. But again, use benchmark pricing. Some people like to use median pricing, so I'm showing it here. We're at 775,000 right now. And the list price sales price ratio. So this is one of my favorite measures to look at, to kind of see what the temperature of the market is. And properties are selling at 111% over of the asking price, which means you have to pay about 11% more than the asking price to buy a condo these days. So That's basically stating that there's crazy bidding wars happening. So if you're looking at a $700,000 condo list price, you're going to have to pay $770,000 to buy it. So $777,000 if you want to be exact. But you can see that we're in uncharted territory here. This is unprecedented sales price list price ratio compared to previous markets. I think maybe 2017 was close to this, but I don't have that data on me right now. But as you can see, we're in a very, very hot market. And then of course the days on market is extremely low. So we're at 9 days on market right now in March. So it takes about 9 days to sell your condo in today's market. Now let's jump over to the rental side of things. So the actual rental inventory dropped slightly than the previous week. So we were at the previous week 2,027 listings. We dropped about over 100 listings. So if this continually trends down, then guess what's going to happen? The rent prices are going to go up. But right now the rental market has been pretty flat and stable and hasn't been doing anything really exciting. So again, this is a good sign if you're a landlord. We want to see this go down if you want to see your rent prices go up. So the number of leases that are currently, so far we had 1,029 leases this March. You compare it to previous March, and again, this is an anomaly. Probably not going to happen again. 2,680 listings that were leased on the MLS system in the previous March, and then 1178 in 2020, right when COVID hit, and then we had 1,400 listings in March of 2019. So we'll probably be close to that number at the end of March. We shall see. Average rent prices actually have come down a bit. The average rent price is a pretty reliable measure to kind of use to indicate pricing for rents. I explained in my previous video, it is more inelastic. So this is a pretty accurate measure to use. So we're at 24.45 right now. If you look at the median prices, we've been pretty much flat the entire time. So the rental market has been flat pretty much since July of 2021. As you can see, the prices haven't really changed at all. The rent price list price ratio is very low compared to July 2021, and this happened because you'll see in the next graph, the previous graph, the prices dropped significantly. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. No, what happened was the amount of inventory that was absorbed that month was the highest. We had 3,500 leases that happened in July, and that is why we had such a high lease price ratio, because there was so much demand that properties were going for, rent prices were going for over asking. So that's what happened in July. And then the days on market right now, we're currently at 20 days on market. Again, you can see what happened back in July, August. It went down to 11 days on the market. That's what happens when you see a huge influx of demand and a very low supply. And you can see that's when the prices actually got pushed up as well. The average price jumped from $2,200 a month to $2,400 a month all of a sudden. So again, if you actually look at the graphs and look at all the numbers, it does make sense, and things are explained a lot more. You can go back and see what happened. It's impossible to tell the future, but you can always go back and see what happened. So this is what happened, and it'll kind of give you a better insight into what can happen in the future, but again, no one knows. So those are the numbers for the graphs. I'm going to quickly go through the average prices for studios right now and in the market in general. So average price for condo downtown right now is about $853,000. You can see the list price and the sale price. You can see the difference. So things are listing for 778, selling for 853. So that's the current market that we're in, and you can again see where the list price sales price ratio number comes from. So right now for studios, you're getting about 520. They're selling for about 525,000. One beds are going just over 700,000. One bedroom dens are almost 800,000 right now. The two bedrooms are just under $1 million at 963,000. Two bedroom dens are at about 1.16 million. Three bedrooms are going for about 1.663 million. And the three bedroom plus dens are getting about 1.7. And then again, for four bedrooms and five bedrooms, we don't really have those in downtown Toronto. Okay, let's look at the rental prices. So the average rental price right now in downtown is about $24.45. Studios are going for about $17.56. You know, one bedrooms are about $2,100, just under $2,100 right now. One bedroom dens are going for about $2,300. Two bedrooms are going for about $2,900. Two bedroom dens are going for about $3,300. Four beds are about $4,000. Sorry, three beds are about $4,000. And there's been three bedroom plus den listings, but again, this is not that big of a sample size, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. I wouldn't use that number. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with the rental market. So I've gone over everything here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.